All right, today we're going on a journey to a place that's just full of incredible extremes and fascinating contradictions. We're diving into Norway, a country that really seems to play by its own set of magical rules.
So, first up, just try to imagine this. A place where, for months at a time, the sun just doesn't set. It's daylight, all day and all night. Now picture a place so different that its prisons are actually compared to comfortable hotels because they focus more on getting people back on their feet than just punishment. And to top it all off, imagine an island so wild that there are literally more polar bears walking around than people. Now these aren't just random weird facts. They are actually perfect windows into what makes Norway so unique. So, what is it that makes this nation so, well, extraordinary? Let's start with the basics that really shape this incredible country.
Okay, so Norway is way up in northern Europe. It's about the same size as the state of Maharashtra in India. But get this, its population is just a tiny 5.5 million. Its whole identity is carved out by its world-famous fjords and a super powerful economy that runs on oil, gas, and fish. And that massive wealth, that's a huge piece of the puzzle, and we're definitely going to see how they use it in a bit.
But, it's not just the geography or the economy that defines Norway. It's something much more elemental. Its really dramatic relationship with the sun. This whole thing with the sun creates a land of just absolute contrast. In the summertime, you get the midnight sun. We're talking 24 hours of nonstop daylight. But the flip side of that is the polar night in winter, a whole month of darkness where the sun never even rises. Just try to imagine living with those kinds of powerful natural extremes.
And of course, that winter darkness creates the perfect stage for one of the most spectacular shows on Earth, the Aurora Borealis. The Northern Lights. People come from all over the world just to see these waves of color dancing across the sky. It's a totally otherworldly experience. And you can imagine, this deep connection to nature's cycles has really shaped the soul of the Norwegian people. Let's take a look at how they live within their incredible landscape.
You absolutely cannot talk about Norway without understanding its fjords. That's pronounced fjords. These aren't just rivers. They are these deep, narrow arms of the sea carved out by ancient glaciers that stretch for miles and miles between these massive, towering cliffs.
I heard a description once that I think is just perfect. It calls them the depth of the sea between high mountains. These landscapes are so important they're a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and they are completely central to what Norway is all about.
This landscape has a huge influence on daily life. In fact, it's actually written into the law. It's called Allemannsretten, or the right to roam. It basically gives everyone the freedom to hike, camp, and explore nature wherever they want, even on private land. This has created this really deep cultural love for the outdoors, where things like skiing and kayaking are just a normal part of life.
And this unique relationship with nature is kind of mirrored by a society that's just full of these fascinating paradoxes. From some really strange local laws to a welfare system that is truly world-class.
For example, how about this? On the remote island of Svalbard, it is technically illegal to die. And I'm serious. Why? Because the ground is permafrost. It's permanently frozen, so bodies can't decompose. For health reasons, anyone who is terminally ill is actually flown to the mainland before they pass away. And that just gives you a little taste of how wild Svalbard is. Check this out. The polar bear population is actually bigger than the human population there. It's one of the last true wildernesses left on Earth, a place where nature is 100% in charge. This theme of contrasts just keeps going, right into their laws. On one hand, Norway has this famous, really progressive prison system that's all about rehabilitation. But then, on the other, you find these surprisingly strict rules, like really tight restrictions on selling alcohol. It's this fascinating look at a society that trusts people to change, but also takes a very strong collective stance on things like public health.
So how does a society like this actually work? Well, Norway is always ranked as one of the happiest countries in the world, and the foundation for that happiness is pretty clear. Education is completely free for everyone. Healthcare, also completely free. And they can afford all this by taking their massive wealth from oil and gas and investing it into the world's largest sovereign wealth fund, basically a giant savings account to secure the future for generations to come. When you mix that kind of wild nature with such a forward-thinking society, you end up with some of the most unbelievable travel destinations on the planet. Let's take a quick tour.
First up is Trolltunga, which means the troll's tongue. It's this incredible sliver of rock that just juts out horizontally from a mountain, and it's hanging a dizzying 700 meters. That's over 2,000 feet, straight above the lake down below. But you don't just drive up to this place. Getting there is an epic journey in itself. It's a grueling 10 to 12-hour round-trip hike. And the reward for all that effort? You get to stand on one of the most photographed and absolutely breathtaking ledges in the world.
The effort is just immense, but the payoff is an unforgettable, truly life-changing experience. And it perfectly captures that Norwegian spirit of adventure and that deep, deep connection to nature.
And the wonders just keep coming. You can stand at the North Cape, the very top of Europe. You can cruise through the spectacular Garanger Fjord, sailing past these massive waterfalls. Or, get this, you can even watch a football match at a stadium that's built on a tiny island, completely surrounded by the ocean. How amazing is that?
And finally, deep inside a frozen mountain back on Svalbard, Norway, is home to the global seed vault. Think of it as the ultimate insurance policy for the world's food supply, protecting millions of seed varieties from any kind of global catastrophe. It's a powerful symbol of Norway's role as a guardian of the future.
So all of this leaves us with a pretty fascinating question. From the midnight sun to a society that's built on trust and foresight, Norway really offers a powerful model. Is this blend of respecting wild nature while investing so deeply in human progress a little glimpse into what the future could or maybe even should look like?